Hey y'all, welcome back to Mountain Murders.
I'm Heather,
And I'm Dylan.
as always.
And here we are on a beautiful day.
It's a Saturday, it's the weekend, and we thought, why not drop a bonus episode for our amazing listeners out there?
Because they are incredible.
Spooky season is upon us, Dylan, and I know we're only in September, but it's never too early to get a head start.
It's true. You can always be spooky.
You can always be spooky. So I thought we could take some time to discuss the most haunted places, and I've chosen Maine and New Hampshire today to discuss.
Okay.
We're going to make our way down the East Coast over the next few weeks,
Oh, nice.
heading into Halloween.
Oh, these are going to be some great stories.
All right. So you know what's interesting about the Granite State, New Hampshire, Dylan, is that it celebrated its 400th birthday in 2023. So
Damn.
with that much history, it stands to reason that we would definitely have plenty of ghost stories to go around. Plenty of haunted places, right?
Yeah, it's got to be full of old legends and stuff of that nature. Yeah, for sure.
One of New Hampshire's famous hauntings is the ocean-born Mary House in Henniker.
The ocean-born Mary House.
Yeah. So in 1720, a notorious pirate captain, I already like the story. We got a pirate. Don Pedro captured the ship Wolf off the shore of Massachusetts. When he spied a red-haired baby,
Okay.
he saw a little ginger that had been born just that day on board. He promised to spare everyone's lives if the child was named after his mother. And so the baby was named ocean-born Mary Wallace.
Oh, my gosh.
Mary grew up, married, and had children, and though she was widowed at a very young age, eventually Captain Pedro tracked Mary down, and they ended up getting married and living together in a mansion overlooking the town of Henniker for a number of years. One day, Mary found the body of her murdered husband on the grounds of the house. Many suspected he was killed over pirate treasure. Mary buried him under the huge hearthstone in the kitchen. She passed away in 1814 at the age of 94.
So she lived a long
She
life.
lived a full life. Since then, the ghost of a tall, red-haired woman with glowing green eyes has appeared in the home. People spot this apparition in an upstairs window and on the main staircase of the home. Occupants of the house have reported feeling Mary's ghostly presence, and some believe that she protects the house from harm.
Oh, my gosh. Now, that's quite a name she ended up with, right?
Well, it's just Mary Wallace, but...
Well, she's ocean-born.
Right.
House of the water.
Mary's two-story wood frame house is still a private residence. Mary Wallace is buried in Center Cemetery behind the Henniker Town Hall.
So, this sounds like a very striking apparition, right? Something
Yeah.
that would really stand out. The red hair, the glowing green eyes.
Wow, yeah.
Oh,
It's kind of spooky.
yeah, it's kind of hot.
Glowing eyes
Yeah.
freaks me out a little bit.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it does. All right, let's talk about the Notchland Inn and Nancy Barton. A tombstone displayed in the parlor of the inn reads 1778 Nancy Barton died in a snowstorm in pursuit of her faithless lover. Nancy was engaged, but her lover ran off with her dowry before the wedding could take place.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Scoundrel, right? Rather than just accept her fate and his treachery, she soon set on foot to find him, but was caught up in the middle of this terrible, blizzard-like conditions. Friends found her body frozen next to a brook that now bears her name.
Well, that's super sad.
Yeah.
She stood up. He runs off with the dowry, which would actually means now she might likely has no dowry to offer to another suitor, which is a very strange kind of system, but
What a con man.
yeah, I know. He just takes it and runs.
He woos you and then takes the money and runs.
Yes, the modern day of him giving him access to your 401k.
Oh, gosh. Does that happen?
It's a love 'em and leave 'em con.
All right.
Yeah.
Love 'em and leave 'em. The Omni Mount Washington Resort. This resort was built in 1902 by Joseph Stickney. The hotel has garnered a name for itself because it has one guest, Dylan, that never quite checks out. You want to hear the legend?
Yes.
Stickney's wife, Carolyn Foster Stickney, she was nicknamed the Princess or Princess Carolyn by hotel staff, was left widowed after his death, eventually remarried a French royal prince named Jean-Baptiste Marie de Forgini-Lucinge.
Oh, say that 3 times fast.
Since her death in 1936, guests and staff report sightings of Princess wandering the hallways of the 3rd floor, and she even walks down the stairs because she's hangry. So she's looking for some food, so she comes down like it's supper time.
So this is not the aloof ghost that you kind of catch a glimpse of. This one's just coming down and making a snack.
She's like, Ma, meatloaf, now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hungry ghost.
It's a hungry ghost. You know what? If I die and come back as a ghost, I think I'll probably end up being a hungry ghost. I'll be the ghost that haunts the kitchen.
Yeah, totally.
You'll be rummaging around in the cabinets looking for snacks.
People will be like, every time I go in there for a midnight snack, I see her.
Woo!
Ooh, where's the cheese?
You better hide the Little Debbie pumpkin delights.
Now, can we talk about how excited you were? We just are trying to do the clean eating. We have a bunch of healthy stuff.
We're doing meal prep.
We're doing a little minor meal prep.
sucks.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool to have stuff already ready.
It is.
It has its pros and cons, especially during the work days and such. But Heather was like, I have one treat that I had to have. And I was like, oh, yeah, what is it? She pulls out of the cabinet a box of the Little Debbie.
It was the only treat I bought at the store.
Is it the what is it?
Pumpkin Delights.
Pumpkin Delights.
I wait all year for Pumpkin Delights, okay? I have loved those things since I can remember.
And they're a limited edition. It's a very short run, right? Would you say maybe a month and a half, 2 months?
Yeah, you probably get a good 2 months out of the Pumpkin Delights.
And I have to say, I stole one of your Pumpkin Delights.
Delicious, isn't it?
It was freaking amazing.
So good.
It was so good. And it really made me want a cup of coffee.
I don't even like Little Debbie's anymore. I feel like they've lost like the original tastes, and now I don't know. They don't taste as yummy as they did when I was 6 years old.
We always wondered, did our palate grow up
and
change, or has the snacks changed?
The recipes have just changed so much.
And I'm pretty certain that's a little bit of both, but I think certainly the things just have different ingredients, cheaper, more chemically, and a lot of the Little Debbie cakes don't have that same taste from your youth.
They don't. But the Pumpkin Delights always deliver. And if I eat enough of those, you'll be calling me Big Debbie. I'll be Big Deb.
Big Deb?
Because I can eat like a box of those in like one sitting.
Oh, gosh.
I can totally pig out if you wouldn't judge me.
No, I would just watch you eat them.
They're so good.
And judge
If
you
I
in
said
my
that
mind.
enough, they're so good.
She loves them.
Yeah. All right, Dylan, let's move along here. We have some more spooky stories. Hampton Beach. We've got the Island Path Road. And I'm going to tell you about the Goody Cole story. Goody was quite a nickname back in the 1600s.
Goody.
Goody had like Goody Proctor from the witch trials, right? I guess that was if I called you sweetheart or honey, maybe kind of the equivalent of that. I don't know. Accused of witchcraft in 1656 and again in 1671, Eunice Goody Cole, who lived at the end of Island Path, eventually died of natural causes in 1680 after she had endured years of persecution and hatred from her community.
Well, that's just a terrible way to live.
According to legend, she was buried by vengeful townspeople with a stake through her heart. Another legend says that kinder neighbors eventually properly buried her near today's Meeting House Green. But today, the area all along the Island Path is said to be haunted. There have been reports of moving objects, lights, and a figure that appears in the fog.
You reckon that was a bone-in ribeye they put through her heart?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Was that your top choice?
For what? A stake through my heart?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
likely. I like the bone-in ribeye.
All right. Now, Dylan, we have a haunted horse. a ghostly horse.
No, I feel like we don't have we should have more haunted animal stories, right?
Yeah.
Like little scary
Well,
cats.
we have heard about some like haunted, like dog-like apparitions over the years.
Basically like the hounds of hell.
And I have heard people describe, in certain places hearing like the sounds of hooves
Oh, really?
around. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I correct in remembering that there is actually a cryptid case of a black dog?
Well, I think the black dog is kind of a common thing
Okay.
that people see. Yeah.
All right. I've seen an animalistic shadow figure.
We've both seen it.
Yeah.
At different times.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's
so
true.
strange.
It's a true story. I mean, it could be. You can be a skeptic. I'm half skeptic, half believer in a lot of things in my own mind. And you can say it was the lights, the lighting, and all that. And it could have been. It could have been your eyes, mind playing a trick on you. But, I mean, I still know what I experienced.
I know what I saw.
Yeah.
And then together we were discussing it, and we were like, wow, so we've seen the same thing.
Well, I was describing to you, and you basically finished my description
Right.
for me, and I was just like, okay, so we've both seen the same exact trick of lights or any of that.
I'd
So,
love to run up and down the road.
yeah.
Certain road. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible that there could be ghostly
Spirit animals.
dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Running around.
Or if they'd take like a ghostly poo by the bathroom.
If Rufus was a ghost, he's just going to beg for snacks too,
Yeah, I know.
right?
He would haunt the kitchen.
We're turning into each other, me and Rufus. We both love snacks and naps.
I'd be like that movie Bitch, where the woman turns into starts acting like dogs or something. I don't know.
Oh, Night Bitch.
Not Bitch. That's
Yeah,
it.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either. I mean, the premise, I'm just like, whatever, but now I kind of want to watch it.
Perhaps New Hampshire's only horse haunting. Now, this is interesting. This horse sought shelter in an abandoned building during a blizzard, became trapped, and is still trying to escape, even in death. And this is at Toll Hills, and the horse's name was Epsom.
Epsom.
So I guess people hear this horse trying to get out of a building, and they hear ghostly horse noises and sounds and see ghostly horse running around,
Dude, horses are scary.
leaping.
I mean, they scare me.
The horse is giving people high fives.
I know a lot of people, some of our listeners may have horses, love them to death. There seems to be a really strong bond between horse and horse owner. It's like they really love the horse a whole lot, but they're just such a big animal. And I guess I've never been around them in the right way, or I don't know. That's got that big mouth, and I'm always afraid they might kick me. Because when I see videos of people getting kicked, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, you're fucking, that hurt, bro. Like, you should be dead.
Well, I think I've discussed this before on the pod, but my uncle had some horses when I was a kid, and I remember riding the horses. And he had one that was like older and more timid, or like tame, gentle horse.
Right.
But then he had this one horse that was like a maniac. Like, this horse was wild. And I don't know if he should have had this horse, because it was really, it was wild. And I remember as a kid being like, oh my gosh, that horse is so mean, because it would bite him
Yeah.
and like kick. And that kind of made me afraid of horses, because I felt like it was a mean horse.
You was around an ornery horse.
An ornery horse. Yeah. Just matched all the other ornery people in my life at the time. But yeah, horses are so big and powerful.
Right.
I find them a bit intimidating. But they are beautiful creatures.
Oh, they're majestic.
They're so pretty.
It's really like nature, the power of nature like flows through them, right? When you're watching a
Yeah.
horse gallop, or you see them
Their
out in the
beautiful
field,
manes,
them
like,
out playing
yeah.
with each other. And I don't know, they're just like a majestic animal.
And I do enjoy watching equestrian events. Like, I've never been to one in person, which would be really cool. We do have an equestrian center not too far away, so maybe we should check something like that out.
Yeah, there was actually we were
But
out.
just watching that on TV, or you see clips on the internet.
We were not long ago in a national park area near us, and
They were having a horse show.
having a bit of a horse show.
A horse show?
Yeah, it seems like a expensive hobby.
It is an expensive hobby.
Right.
Yeah.
If you treat the horse right, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just if you do all the things for the horse and keep it up nice and do all the things it needs, and then you got the trailer, and now you got to get a truck to pull the
I've
trailer.
had relatives with horses, and it can be expensive. Like, you have to rent a pasture if you don't have one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The feed.
The veterinary care, they're pretty
pretty expensive. Yeah, large animal veterinarian care, like for horses and cows and that kind, is really, really expensive.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense because
So
they
expensive.
charge me an arm and a leg to take a 9-pound dog to the vet. So I can only imagine if I bring a 1,000-pound horse, they're charging by the kilogram.
Let's talk about the Three Chimneys Inn, which is in Durham. One of the most haunted places in New Hampshire is the Three Chimneys Inn, which is located, as I mentioned, in Durham, New Hampshire. This historic inn dates back to 1649.
Wow.
Wow. I would love to stay in an inn with that kind of rich history.
Well, I mean, you see, I've been around places, in places. We lived for a while in a house that was built in 1905, and just even being that old, or being in a house that was constructed, or a chapel or something, schoolhouse that was built in the 1800s, it really has an energy, right? The building has like you can just feel it when you're standing in there, even when it's all silent. So I can only imagine something from the early 1600s. I mean, my gosh.
Yeah, when I was in photo school, I did a project at the old Stone House, which is in Georgetown, Washington, D.C., and it's like one of the oldest houses in the nation. Might be the oldest, and it's now like a federal park. They have a park ranger there at the house, and you can go do a little tour. It's very cool. But that house is amazing. You can actually see the beams in the ceiling where they used like hand saws to cut the beams.
Oh, okay.
And you can still see the wood has the markings. It's rough.
It's the tool mark from the saw.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very cool. Very cool spot. So if you ever go to DC and you want to see something interesting that's maybe a little destination out of the way, I mean, of course, everyone goes to the mall to see the monument and the Smithsonian.
And shop at Foot Locker.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Federal Foot Locker. They have a Foot Locker there, right?
Your joke is it's not reaching me today, Dylan. You're hilarious.
I would actually be sad. I thought there was a Foot Locker there.
You're goofy. Stop.
Now, is that where the big pointy thing in the park? I don't even know my Washington destinations that well. I know of the obelisk. Is that right? The monolith or whatever. The big tall statue.
You mean the Washington Monument?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
And then there's the Lincoln Memorial.
Yes.
I think they have some museums around. The Smithsonian and such.
That they do.
The Holocaust Museum.
Yes.
Isn't there a natural history museum?
That's part of the Smithsonian.
Isn't that cool?
Museums, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to go through the Smithsonian. Oh,
Well, I'm saying if you're looking for something that's maybe not super touristy and is a little bit out of the way, if you plan to go shopping in Georgetown or have lunch over there or something, the Old Stone House is really cool.
it sounds awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a really neat experience going into such an old home. Moving along, Dylan. So we have this hotel, this inn, built in 1649, and it's going to have a long history of ghostly sightings and paranormal activity. Guests have reported seeing apparitions, hearing mysterious footsteps, and cold drafts throughout the building. One of the most famous ghosts that is believed to haunt the inn is that of Hannah, a former owner's daughter who died tragically in the building. Her spirit is said to still roam the halls and even play pranks on guests. The inn also offers ghost tours and has been featured on various paranormal TV shows.
Wow. Well, I'm sure this is probably a very famous place, being so old. But I mean, these types of experiences, if I had those, I would be disturbed, honestly.
Staying in like a spooky old inn.
Well, yeah, anytime you hear stuff like footsteps or moving around in the floor above you, which I've actually experienced, or, it could be the house settling or all that if the house was wearing boots and walking across the old plank floor. I mean, it's just, sometimes that stuff's kind of hard to explain away,
A little bit. Yeah. We talk about these things and then it just makes me want to go take like the world's biggest, spookiest road trip.
Yeah, I know.
To go visit all these spots and spend the night. Now, Dylan, we have a spooky graveyard. As if graveyards aren't already a little unsettling for some people.
Well, I think all graveyards have energy, certainly. Some more so than others. And I certainly think the older the graveyard, the kind of spookier it is, you know. We've been through some pretty cool ones in our time together.
This cemetery is located in Conway, which has been described as a quaint town. Stark Road Graveyard is a very small cemetery, but it holds a dark secret, Dylan.
Oh my gosh.
The graveyard dates back to the early 1800s and is said to be one of the most haunted places in New Hampshire. Visitors have reported seeing an eerie presence as soon as they enter the gates, and many claim to have seen apparitions wandering among the gravestones. The most famous ghost said to haunt the cemetery is that of Abel Blood. What a name.
Well, that's an incredible name.
Now, according to legend, Blood was a war hero who returned to Conway and built a grand mansion near the graveyard. But his happiness was short-lived. He lost his fortune and became consumed by grief. His spirit is believed to roam the graveyard searching for peace. Visitors have reported hearing his ghostly screams and moans and seeing his apparition sitting on a bench near his grave.
Wow.
Screams and moans.
It's too much.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's creepy. We have the Alton Town Hall. In the town of Alton is another location steeped in history. This 19th century building was once used as a schoolhouse and later became the town hall. However, it is said that the spirits of former students still roam the building.
The spirits of former students.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
from
mad.
When it was a school.
Mad because they got poor marks.
Visitors have reported hearing children's laughter and footsteps late at night, even when there are no children present. Some have even claimed to see the ghost of a young girl in an old-fashioned kind of outfit peering out from one of the windows. Ooh, the town hall has a creepy basement that is said to be haunted by a former janitor who died while working there. His spirit is believed to still reside in the basement, and many have reported feeling his presence or seeing objects move on their own. The Alton Town Hall is a popular spot for ghost hunters, and there has been some eerie evidence captured of some of the paranormal activity that goes on there.
Wow.
Like maybe EVPs and that kind of thing.
Oh, I want a ghost to touch me.
You are silly.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't mean molest me. I mean like on the shoulder or something. Damn.
Touched by a ghost.
Yeah. Come on, I can't prove it, but it happened.
That just made me think of something. It's kind of silly, but maybe I won't talk about it. The Colonial Theater in Laconia is a historic landmark that has become famous for ghostly activity. Ooh, another theater. You know, I feel like there are multiple stories in the U.S. of haunted theaters, haunted lighthouses, haunted inns and hotels.
I was actually just sitting over here thinking about how eerie lighthouses are every time you go near one. And I think part of it is their setting. They're in the ocean, typically on a jetty or a point, you know, out extending out into the ocean because they served a functional purpose back in the day, warning ships of the coastline and all.
Is that what they did?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Well, yeah.
Oh, I thought they were just pretty.
You know better. You're from the Navy. You know the importance of lighthouses and beacons. But no, they were just so eerie. And I think part of that heavy energy comes from just a life of solitude and kind of
I was built to be like a lighthouse keeper.
Like the hardship and solitude that most keepers would endure to keep up these very remote lighthouses, keep them operational because they were very important. But yeah, it's always just the creepiest place.
Can I find a job now as a lighthouse keeper?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they're operating some of them.
And then let me bring Rufus.
But it's probably like a hard job to get, right? Like the dude, you know, it's like the old timer at work
I think it's a popular job.
that won't retire, so someone else can move into that position.
People be fighting each other over the job.
Yeah, he's already retired, half retired, and drawing big fat Social Security and all this shit, and he still won't retire. You're like, dude, let somebody else do the job. Damn. Go enjoy your life.
Gosh, this sounds very personal.
Stop coming in.
Have you had a negative experience with a lighthouse keeper?
Yes.
My goodness. I had no idea.
That movie Cold Skin was about me, about a life experience I had.
Some weird mermaid creatures started to attack you.
Yeah, we had sex, but you know. Then had a little big-headed baby.
You know what? It would not surprise me. You probably would have sex with a mermaid.
Well, honestly, it depends. It depends on if I really love that mermaid or not. I don't have one-night stands with mermaids, okay? I don't have
You need to get to know the mermaid.
I don't have one-night stands with anyone.
You want to discuss the mermaid's hopes and dreams, get to know the mermaid?
A person could take me home for a one-night stand, but their rest of their evening is going to be full of disappointment and me snoring.
But you could probably like wash their dishes or something, right?
Yeah.
So you have something to offer.
I can take the trash out, walk your dog.
Reach things on top of shelves.
Well, yeah, things are in my scope of reaching. You know, I'm 6 foot even. It's not like I'm 6'5".
Okay. All right. Well, if there's any mermaids out there listening, Dylan is available for a disappointing one-night stand. So the Colonial Theater in Laconia, historic landmark, well known for its ghostly activity. This theater was built in the early 1900s and has since hosted countless performances, movie screenings, even like vaudeville acts back in the day.
Vaudeville was such a big deal back in the day. It was such a huge form of entertainment.
I wish they would bring back. I mean, there are little groups around that do vaudeville shows.
Yeah.
I've actually performed in like Asheville Vaudeville. I've performed in a couple of their shows. And it is cool because they bring together so many different like talented performance artists.
Yeah.
You might have a juggler or a magician,
A sword
comedian,
swallower, or you could see anything. It was like a mixture.
Someone performing on like the lyra pop.
Yeah.
Aerial stuff. Yeah.
It was almost like you're bringing together like freak shows, comedians, musicians, magicians. I mean, just the variety alone is so interesting.
Yeah, one of our favorite local Asheville celebrities is Toy Box the Witch. He does little puppet shows. Well, Toy Box does puppet shows.
Right.
And they're amazing. So talented. If you're ever in Asheville and you see Toy Box performing like a vaudeville show, you got to go check it out.
Oh.
But I wish they would revive that. Right? Because it's so fun to see, these very talented people.
Yeah, in the modern day, I wonder what the talents would be.
Well, like I said, they're like jugglers.
No, I'm talking about in the 2025 version, though, because people think they have new talents now.
Well, I'm telling you what I've seen in the 2020 version, 2020's version.
People be like, my opinion's my talent.
Making TikToks is my talent. Let me show you how I do that.
That's right. I'm selling products on TikTok. Look at that. I'm getting commissions.
Well, behind the beautiful facade of this theater is a dark past that has given rise to rumors of hauntings. Many employees and guests have reported strange occurrences, from unexplained noises to objects being thrown or being moved around on their own. One of the most frequent sightings are in the projection room, where workers often hear footsteps and they feel like a dark presence or like a strange presence.
Oh, my gosh.
That's... Oh my gosh.
No, I'm saying, how would you react if you experienced this? I mean, seriously.
That's a little creepy.
Would you just be like, remark to yourself, oh, that was a little weird, or would you freak the fuck out?
In a theater?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably be a little afraid, Dylan.
Oh, I was going to say your rule of allowing everyone around you to actually enjoy the show that they bought a ticket to and not be screaming would outweigh your fear.
Okay, so let's move on to discuss some haunted places in Maine.
Okay.
Like I said, we're going to work our way down the coast. Maine State Prison. It's one of those other places you hear a lot about haunted prisons.
Hey, I've been to a few, and they're creepy places.
Back in 1824, the Maine State Prison in Thomaston was set up. The punishments were revolved around hard labor, either for life sentences or shorter periods of time. They didn't discriminate. If you were there, your ass was going to do some hard work.
So no matter how, if you're there for a year or the rest of your life, you're getting treated the same way.
Originally, men and women were sentenced here, but later they moved the women to a different prison. This place had some bad luck with fires over the years, and they had to rebuild it a couple of times. The prison also included mental health wards. Over the years, guards and prisoners reported sightings of strange things in the Maine State Prison. Guards say they felt someone watching them, even though there was nobody there. Current prisoners reported sharing their cells with spirits of prisoners from the past. And some of these ghostly prisoners would show up at night.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, you'd be trapped in a cell with a ghost?
Oh, you can't go anywhere. I didn't even think about that. Oh my gosh.
Please somebody come get this ghost out.
That'd be terrible.
Who let the ghost out? Who?
You know, I think they should build prisons on the moon. I think that'd be cool.
Sounds like a bad sci-fi movie.
Yeah, no, moon prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could get Snake Plissken, Escape from New York. That could be like Escape from Moon Prison.
People be jumping and
Kurt Russell's old ass will be in it.
Jumping real high because they're on the moon.
I say that, but Kurt Russell's the man.
Like the fence would have to be so tall.
On the moon?
Yeah, because low gravity. People can jump real high.
So you're gonna have to tether the prisoners to the prison? Or
No.
they'll just be floating off?
Well, I guess you don't care if they float off into deep space, right? Because they're just prison. I mean, right? Like
See, I'm telling you, this is the setup for a bad sci-fi movie, bad sci-fi horror film, right? So you have the space prison.
Yeah.
And you have like the most dangerous criminals in the world there.
And
they just float off and guards are like, oh, whatever. But then the most evil prisoners float off and like take over some sort of satellite or spaceship.
Or an asteroid.
And ride it to Earth to destroy.
So
yeah,
the guards' negligence actually led to their plan of escape. They used that against the guards to escape.
They hijack some sort of spacecraft.
Yeah.
Or a rocket.
Yeah. And
maybe one of Jeff Bezos'
the
rockets.
dick rockets.
They get a dick rocket. And they ride that dick rocket right into the world's orbit. And they're here to do some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And then you have to have some brave folks on Earth
who are going to
willing
protect
to
us
battle the space prisoners
from the threatening phallus in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Okay. Like if you don't,
somebody make that. That's a movie that'll lose you some money. It'll lose you millions of dollars. Make that
this summer. Moon prison.
Escape from Moon Prison.
They let the worst of the worst float away. Little did they know there was a dick rocket out there.
Gosh.
Now it's heading straight toward Earth's face. Moon prison.
A motley crew of rascally Earth citizens.
Yeah.
Have to fight the evil space prisoners.
They have lengthy criminal records. I mean, what would you do?
I don't want to continue this conversation. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get back to our haunted story here, Dylan, our haunted places. Second on my list here for haunted Maine is Fort William Henry. This fort was built in 1692. It was an English fort meant to protect the frontiers of the Massachusetts colony, and it was quite impressive. It housed around 20 cannons and 60 soldiers. Before the English arrived, Native Americans lived on this land, and there were these ongoing conflicts between them and the colonists. Sadly, in 1696, they hung a Native American chief named Tokolexis. I'm doing my best to pronounce that, near the fort. And according to local stories, his ghost is said to still haunt this historic site. People who work or visit the fort say they've seen a white glowing ball, almost like, big orb, outside the entrance, and it moves between the rebuilt buildings and the spot where they think this chief was hung.
Oh my God. That's weird.
Or hanged, I guess you would say.
Hungeth.
Yeah, hungeth.
Well, forts were always on the edge of violence. You know what I mean? Because there were often clashes between the people, various groups there around the forts.
Well, yes, Dylan, I think that's the nature of forts.
Well, yeah.
Is that there are skirmishes and things kind of around the fort.
You're saying that's why the fort's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Typically.
Well, that sounds...
I'm no fort expert.
Right.
I'm just going to float it out there. Mount Hope Cemetery. Again, we've got another haunted cemetery. Established in 1836, Mount Hope Cemetery in Bangor, Maine, has become the final resting place for over 30,000 individuals.
Damn.
This is a 300-acre cemetery, and it's actually called a garden cemetery. It's the second garden cemetery in the United States. It's a place for honoring loved ones with mausoleums and lavish memorials. Mount Hope also had a role in Stephen King's Pet Sematary movie. Besides that, it's a burial site for numerous soldiers who served in American wars. Some people have seen strange shadows and felt a general sense of unease in the cemetery. Others claim to have spotted ghostly figures wandering amidst the memorials. Just before the gates close for the night, people report feeling cold spots or hearing footsteps like behind them, as if these ghosts are encouraging you to quickly exit out of their cemetery.
Yeah, get out of here.
Go on, get.
We don't want you here living.
Go on,
You're
get.
some bitch alive.
Now, Dylan, we discussed lighthouses, and I have one on our list. The Wood Island Lighthouse in Saco Bay boasts its share of creepy stories. It really got famous when ghost hunters did a paranormal investigation there. But the whole thing started back in 1896 when a drifter shot the local sheriff after being confronted for either not paying rent or causing some kind of trouble.
Oh, gosh.
He was devastated when he found out the sheriff had died, so he went to the lighthouse keeper who tried to calm him down. The drifter could not be consoled and ended his life in despair. People who visit Wood Island Lighthouse have said they see shadows moving in the dark, they hear gunshots in the air, and watch a window shade suddenly spin up, and witnesses have even watched locked doors just suddenly burst open.
Oh, my gosh. You can't even lock the ghost out.
No, it's coming for you. It's coming for you, Dylan.
What?
The ghost is coming for your ass.
Get out of here, ghost.
It's your ass, Dylan. Okay, so we've got another lighthouse. This is Seguin Island Lighthouse. It is supposedly one of the most haunted lighthouses in Maine, if not one of the most haunted spots.
Oh, wow.
Supposedly.
And Maine's got a lot of them.
Back in the early 1800s, a lighthouse keeper's wife brought a piano to the island. She thought this would kind of help her, fight off loneliness and boredom, give her something to do. I'm sure it can be very boring to live so isolated, especially when you are not the person who's doing the work. You don't have the work to keep you busy.
Yeah, that would probably be even worse. And like you can only read so many books, and it's not like you're getting new books all the time, You can't just go to the local bookstore and buy more. So what do you even do?
Well, sadly, this woman only knew how to play one song, and she played it all the time, and it drove her husband crazy. What song do you think it was?
I don't know.
It was like, hello, my baby, hello, my
Yeah.
darling, hello, my rock.
Is that called Clementine?
Yeah, I don't know. Eventually, during an argument about the piano, he lost his temper and killed his wife with an axe.
Oh, my God.
And I ain't never been mad over piano music. I want to kill somebody.
Well, I think there's some psychology to the fact that the same thing like that over and over and over and over again could probably become irritable to you.
Then took his own life. The wife and the piano music live on. 200 years after her death, people still report hearing the song, like notes from that tune that she would play. That's creepy.
Yeah.
To hear ghostly music. Visitors to the island, fishermen, and boaters passing by all say they've heard it. There are also stories about a ghostly little girl. And then there are these unexplained sounds like coughs, bouncing balls, and things moving around in the rooms when no one is in them.
Yeah. So would you go stay overnight at this lighthouse?
Yeah, let's do it.
That'd be awesome.
Ship Harbor Nature Trail. Got a lot of rich history here. In 1739, about 200 people were stranded when their ship crashed in Bar Harbor. Sadly, half of them died and were buried in these unmarked graves. The others tried to find help, but disappeared without a trace into the Maine wilderness. Some think this area is cursed, while others believe the strange things that happen here, like multiple shipwrecks, are because of the restless spirits in those unmarked graves. People say they hear ghostly howling, maybe from those who passed away in the freezing cold with no food.
Ghostly howling.
Howling.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Got a ghost dog.
The old narrow gauge trail. I just like the name of that. So over the years, one of the scariest spots on I guess in Maine's history, is the old narrow gauge route. People say it's haunted by a local person who vanished here along with his bike and was never found. No one has ever been charged with a crime, but many think someone knew this person and harmed them.
Oh, okay.
Right? So nowadays, people claim they see glowing orbs and ghosts, and they hear a scary scream telling them to leave.
Okay. And I would
Leave.
take that ghost's advice.
This trail is about a mile long and follows part of a historic Kennebec Central Railroad path.
Well, yeah, that's the reference of a narrow gauge is obviously the track size.
Railroad.
And they would do a lot of smaller, along logging routes and things like that would have these narrow gauge kind of small trains on them.
Can I tell you that the little bit of knowledge I have of trains, I learned from Thomas the Train?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're an expert.
I'm not an expert, but I'm just saying the little bit of info I have about trains and like train terminology, I learned from years of watching the same Thomas the Train movies repeatedly.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know that the gauge, the width, in essence, of a track, a lot of the railroads, it was quite different from one railroad to the next. And that was one of the things holding back the nation from really taking full advantage of having a rail system. Because oftentimes, if you have a different rail size, you would have to pull your train at the end of your line and then offload and then load it onto the other train that's on a different size track, and then for it to continue its journey, which obviously a very costly in time and effort.
The history of the railroads being built in the United States is so interesting. I've listened to several podcasts about the expansion of the railroad, how it was built, the people behind it, the bureaucracy, like some shady deals.
People stealing the funds and offshoring the money and creating intentionally creating delays and things and dangerous work conditions.
Bringing in Chinese immigrants to do the bulk of the labor.
Well, you
had
had
out west and things.
You had a mixture. You had
you did.
You had even once I got to Utah, the Mormon Church offered up. I think it was Brigham Young actually offered up if they would bring the rail through certain places in Utah. He would mobilize Mormon labor, and they actually enjoyed the Mormon labor because they were very disciplined. They didn't drink, get drunk and show up to work hungover and things like that, and they were actually really good laborers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Because they were disciplined. And
so you're saying I should, if I'm going to build a railroad, I should hire some Chinese folks because they're hard workers, and also some Mormons.
Yeah, if you want to go through Utah.
If I want to go through Utah. Okay.
Right.
Okay, good to know. Good to know, Dylan. But yeah, it's pretty interesting history.
It's very interesting.
All right, Dylan. Well, that about wraps it up for some of the most haunted places in New Hampshire and Maine.
I'm scared.
Like I said, we're going to make our way down the coast to discuss more haunted places ahead of Halloween. It's my favorite.
I love hearing scary stories, and it always makes me... I always can't help but think, how would I react in that situation?
I always think I want to buy ghost hunting equipment.
Yeah.
Like when I hear these stories, I'm like, it would be pretty fun to do ghost hunting. And when I've met people who do it, they are really into it. Like they seem like they really enjoy it. And it's so cool, to get some of that equipment and go around and see what you can find.
No, it is really cool. And I think it's a very subjective thing. But honestly, when you get into the physical readings of like the environment and things like that, some of that stuff's pretty hard to explain, right?
Like temperature.
Well, like a cold spot.
And
a cold spot when
or
you're...
those like thermal cameras that show you like the hot and cold spots and things.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in an environment, if you're somewhere and it's just everything else, the entire structure or place, is the same, even if it's outdoors. And then all of a sudden you physically walk into a cold spot that's, many degrees less than the surrounding environment. It's very strange. I mean, I don't even know of a natural phenomenon that would explain that. It's very odd.
At some point, Dylan, I would like to cover Ed and Lorraine Warren and like their history and some of the hoaxes. There's a lot of folks who claim like everything they did was a big hoax.
Right.
So I would like to do an episode on them sometime.
They certainly made a lifelong career out of it.
So possibly that'll be a future Mountain Murders episode
That would be fun.
to discuss. Ed and Lorraine Warren. Maybe we can discuss just like ghost hunting.
And really,
in general.
you could have a multi-part limited series on mysticism and all the hoax back in the day.
Oh gosh,
Houdini,
spiritualism, yeah.
Spiritualism, Houdini's famous fight against, con artist and hoaxster spiritualist. He was very adamant about, basically outing these phonies.
Well, early on, I do believe we covered some stories or cases on Patreon about some of these spiritualists. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did.
It's been a while ago.
All right, so that is it for the spooky day today, and I can't wait to continue our travels down the East Coast with you, Heather.
Yeah, creeping and crawling. Let's do it.
Yes, I can't wait. Thank you for that, and thanks for everyone that listens.
If you have a spooky tale, we just like to hear from our listeners. Let's put together an amazing listener story episode for Halloween. If you've got some cool stories, email us mountainmurderspodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear your tales, and we will make sure the world knows about your spooky experience.
Yeah, we'd love to hear any spooky tales you have. Hey, even if it was a scary prank you did on somebody that's a really fun story, go ahead and drop it in there, and we would love to read them.
Oh my gosh, scary pranks. No.
Is that too much for you?
Dude, I freak out whenever the biscuit can pops open.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So someone dressed in like a scary costume and like laying in wait for me. Yeah, I would be scared.
Oh,
You're going to hear me scream and probably run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most definitely.
You may stand and fight.
Your daughter used to do this thing where she would crawl on her hand like backwards, like crab walk backwards with her hair hanging in her face like the Grudge Girl.
Yeah.
And that shit was creepy.
She did a good Grudge Girl for sure.
She would do it like across the living room.
Yeah,
in
shout
the
out
darkness.
Shout out to Ayla.
That was scary.
You scared
It
us.
freaked me out, dude.
All right, so until next time,
Stay jolly.
stay creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. All right, Dylan. I'll see you later, bud.
Bye.